Hey Belinda, got David on the table to surrogate for Jack, so
Hello.
let's
Hi,
get
David.
started. So um, let's hope for blessings and good feelings, after this balance.
Little fellow.
Little fellow. It's tough being a kid on the planet these days.
It is.
Well, there's more input than ever before, so the amount of visuals and technology and all sorts of things. And some of our brains just don't keep up. Can't declutter. So the left leg's a little shorter than the right, which means that the atlas is out. So we'll check that. Okay, breathe in and out. And breathe in and out. And breathe in and out. So just loosening up the neck, straightening. Yeah, so that's more even. So now the feet are even when we lift them. So the sacrum is more stable in the lower back. Okay, hold up for me, beautiful. Hold up for me, excellent. Hold up for me. Okay, so each side, the sacrum and the occiput is communicating, but when I check with both together, that's when it unlocks, and that's sort of the whole occiput, not communicating with the whole sacrum. Okay, so for Jack, eyes open, eyes closed, it's dark, eyes open. Eyes open, eyes closed, it's dark, eyes open. And hold, good, okay. Oh man, hormones. So in relation to hormones and stress hormones. Stress and stress hormones. And hold. Hold. Neurotransmitter imbalances. And hold. I am loved. I am lovable. And hold. I am loved. I am lovable. Okay, pain and pain hormones. Pain and pain hormones. And hold.
Little hold.
Okay, so let's check the centering mechanisms. Actually, let me check our notes. Okay. Let's check the centering mechanisms. So we see a little bit of an unlock. I'm just going to take your wallet out, David. Eyes open, eyes closed, it's dark, eyes open. Eyes open, eyes closed, it's dark, eyes open. I am loved, I am lovable, I am worthy. And hold, beautiful. These little guys that help to center the head on the neck, on the shoulders, at the base of the skull, and hold. It seems okay, and what about together, all four of them? So head and hips, hold. Because especially as a teenager, or you know, eyes open, eyes closed, it's dark, eyes open. These little areas are the cloacals. Eyes open, eyes closed, it's dark, eyes open. And they are, you know, they get really active during hormones. Eyes open, eyes closed, it's dark, eyes open. And hold. Tailbone and hold. Hold. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And hold. Beautiful. So check the tailbone with the sphenoid bone. So hold. Yeah. So this one's out when that dura from the tailbone to the tip of the head is compressed. Eyes open, eyes closed. It's dark, eyes open.
Is that where the meridian is?
Well, the governing meridian,
Yeah.
you know, sort of runs from the tailbone up the top, goes on the inside of the mouth.
It's pretty much where the meridian is.
Yeah. And when we're stuck in stress and survival, that governing meridian is overworking.
Right.
Eyes open, eyes closed, it's dark, eyes open. Eyes open, eyes closed, it's dark, eyes open. And hold, beautiful. And then down to the jaw, the ramus of the jaw. And hold, okay. Eyes open, eyes closed, it's dark, eyes open. Eyes open, eyes closed, it's dark, eyes open. I am loved, I am lovable, I am worthy. I am loved, I am lovable, I am worthy. Okay, now let's check the spinal respiratory fault. So through here.
Hey, lucky I've got a curved spine.
David's got a different curved spine. And hold. Okay. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out.
Oh, crap.
Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And breathe in and out. And hold. Beautiful. Okay. Right side scoliosis. And hold. Left side scoliosis. Because we can have both. No, it's showing up more on the right. Eyes open, eyes closed, it's dark, eyes open. 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 Okay. Good. Let's check the right side. Oh, yeah. Anything else from here? Oh, because the bladder energy, so either side of the spine there's a big muscle, the sacrospinalis, so let's check that as well. Looking up over the right shoulder, David, and hold up nice and strong. No. And look up over the left side, hold up nice and strong. No. So they're not locking, which is why the leg goes up, because the whole body's trying to use everything else to recruit. But either side of the spine, the whole way down, there's a muscle group called the sacrospinalis, and it relates to the bladder meridian, and the bladder's about externalized fear and anxiety. So it gets really overworked when we're just anxious and stressed and we're not letting go of trauma. And it's the longest meridian in the body. So the meridian for the bladder sort of goes over the head, comes down to the buttocks, it goes back to the shoulder blades, and it goes all the way down to the pinky toe.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's in two parts. Yeah, so that you can feel it. It sort of comes down, it lands here, then it comes off the body, or maybe there's an internal pathway, and then it comes all the way back down.
And that makes you pee more. Need to go to the loo more.
Well, it's the bladder. Yeah, so when our bladder meridian is overworking, we are going to need to pee more. That can, of course, be, blood sugar being out of control.
Right.
So when we're stressed, our sympathetic nervous system can make us want to pee, so that when the tiger pounces, we don't have urine in the bladder, so we don't end up with, some sort of bladder infection by allowing, so part of peeing when we're stressed is the body preparing for whatever's about to pounce.
Right, because when people are in real fear, they might pee themselves. Like
Yeah.
they're really strong.
Yeah, absolutely. So hands in your lower back again. Look up over your right shoulder again and hold. That's better. And this side and hold. Much better.
Amazing.
Okay. So one of the things that you can do, Belinda, with Jack, there's sort of something we do in kinesiology called push to mush. So it's basically pushing on muscles that we want to relax. So you can do that either side of the spine anytime if,
You'll really like it.
Well, it feels really lovely, but you're basically like pushing into the belly muscle. And the belly muscle is where these things called spindle cells are. And spindle cells are what set how strong a muscle is holding on. So it sets the tension of a muscle. And with a scoliosis, there's a classic. On one side it'll be overworking, on the other side it'll be underworking, and then it's opposite down the bottom of, so overworking on one side and underworking on the other. So that's how we end up with a scoliosis, is that we've got some muscles pulling either side and then others that are too relaxed. Let me check cardiac back as well and hold. That felt okay. Hold. Yeah. Sometimes cardiac back will show up if there is something going on with the heart. The lower body can show up, but that's not okay. So I'll turn over for part 2.